Hello, hello. Hope I'm coming through loud and clear.
Ah,
Yeah, I think so. Alrighty, welcome. This is a test stream for my business. I'm going to be documenting things that I unbox and put together and or build. We're going to be taking the Samsung 990 Pro 1TB PCIe 4 M.2 SSD. We're going to install it into this Sabrent NVMe to M.2 SSD or NVMe M.2 SSD to PCIe adapter. The reason for this is that my buddy wanted to install this on his system, but he ran out of the M.2 ports for these on his computer. So we're going to be adapting this M.2 to this PCIe adapter so that he can install it in one of his free PCIe slots on his system. So let's go ahead and start unboxing. I'm always impressed by Sabrent's boxes because they have these little tabs that you can untape it from. These little tabs. I forgot to actually be on camera. My bad. That's why it's a test. You've got instructions. There's another piece of paper in here. Yes, they do. I have enjoyed Sabrent for a long time. The first product I bought from them was a hard drive bay for cloning HDDs to SSDs. We have a manual. Tells you how to install and the contents. Here we have the actual adapter. Seems very nice. And a screwdriver for installing. So I'm going to go into this blind. I'm not going to look at the manual. Let's flip this over and start unscrewing. There are 4 screws on the corners. Because this is, it's not magnetic, of course, but I can't complain. I do have my own tools for this, but this is the screw that it came with. So if you don't have tools for this, this is going to be the experience you can expect for yourself. Okay. This looks really cool, and I imagine these are for thermal padding. So I'm going to raise this out, and yeah, here's the thermal pads. These should go, oh, there's 3 of them. There's 2 thin ones and 1 thick one. You can kind of get a look there. These 2 are a little thinner. Yeah, let's compare and contrast. You can kind of tell. Here's our drive, our adapter. And let's take out our drive so we can install it. Again, we're using a 1TB Samsung 990 Pro. I've had this for a while. Never used it in my system because my system is PCIe 3, not PCIe 4. So it would have been better used elsewhere, i.e. my friend's computer. This looks like it'll fit nicely, but we'll have to remove this first. So let's flip it. Oh yeah, you can unscrew, and if you have a smaller sized NVMe drive, you can move this little mount betwixt the places, and then you just take scissors to these to accommodate the heatsink. PCIe 4 and 5 tend to heat up because they move data so fast. It's a significant amount, which is why this comes with thermal pads and, a passive heatsink, probably aluminum. But I do love the color. This will fit in most of your builds. I don't think anyone has a super pink build. Yeah, let's pull that out all the way. Perfect. Cool. We'll take this, slot it in gently so that the teeth, I'll call them, are no longer exposed. And let's pop this back in here, I believe. Uh-oh. I hope I did not done goof. Oh, mayhaps. I see. Okay. So this is a little interesting. You're going to slot this little cylinder right in here with the little screw hole side facing downward into the PCB. You'll push it together like that, and ideally, yeah, it'll click and slot right into place. I gotta remember to stay on camera. And you put your screw in there. If you had a magnetic screw, this would be way easier. Unscrew one turn until it snaps in. You can kind of hear it maybe. Yeah. And then you start to screw in. This is so you don't screw up the threads incorrectly. And now I'm realizing I forgot to actually apply my heatsink down here. I am an incredible technician. So this kind of slides around, the thin one slides around the bottom pretty easy, the thick one not so. So I'm gonna pull this up. This is what I get for doing it blind and not reading the instructions. Serves me right. And let's pop this out. And you can see the boundary in the white border of where the heatsink should be. So it'll peel off gently and then apply with as much accuracy as you can provide. Maybe that's a little too close to the pins. Let's start back here a bit. Yeah, right at the end of the copper. Cool. Now we have a slight air gap here so that we can still insert our drive. The thermal pads are not necessarily contacting the pins. It's hard to tell because my lighting is poor, but yeah. And then we remove the top side. Excellent. Now I'll slot the front in. Here, I guess I should probably do this here. This is more visible. Yeah. And that should squish down. Nice. It is mildly adhesive, so it is holding itself down a little. I'm gonna pick this up now. I'm gonna orient my little mount, I'll call it, right in there. Squeeze in. It's a little tricky to tell. I can't get a perfect input on it's a little rough. It's okay. It did click in. It's just not protruding out of this hole as much as I expected. So holding this here, my back index, I'll slide that in. Again, we're going to counter steer until we click. And that's just what I do to make sure I don't strip any threads. Then clockwise. Marvelous. So that's in there. Next step. Let's see. I've got these holes here, so this is obviously the backing. Yeah. And that is gonna need these thin pads now for the top and bottom. Yeah, and we have this notch here. That's not up here. We have this notch. And this air gap where it goes. So that's gonna go right in there. Yeah. Alright, I guess that would be the first step. So let's because this is going to go up here. So let me actually put some thermal padding across the top here so that it contacts the aluminum. We don't want these things to overheat and break, or even if they don't break, it's a thermal throttle and slow you down. Gently press. Don't touch these with your hands like I'm doing. Do as I say, not as I do. Wise words from my parents. Alright, peel that. Gently flip it. And place in here. Is the, yeah, am I in the notch? I'm trying to hit that notch in there. Let's see. Yeah, that's I don't know why that doesn't technically feel right. I know that it, okay. The padding just adds a little bit of extra stuffing, I think. So we'll take this for now. These holes should line up to where you would place the screws. These little gaps. That I know there's no open hole here except for this screw here. That's what this one's for. I don't know why there's not one here. Maybe because there's not actually any drives that small. But I digress. Once again, we'll gently peel the thermal padding. Place it on the copper. For cleanliness sake, I'm avoiding the screw. We don't have to cover that, and I prefer not to in case this needs to be removed at any point. Marvelous. Alright. We'll place this on top here. And it's at this point I'm struggling a little. I wonder if I It's not closing as much as I would have hoped. Maybe I need to screw this in more. Alright. Prop it in the gap. That click was satisfying. Yeah, that looks well seated. Seated. Ah! There we go. Kind of like that. I am beginning to think that that third, or that super thick thermal pad was too thick. But we will keep calm and carry on. Trying not to absolutely crush the thing. I did expect this to be seated a little better. What is this thing's problem? What's catching? What's the catch? Well, I guess we're just gonna squish the pad a little bit. So we'll mount it. Right, holes, cool. Please and thank you. Oof. Alright. It may not seat as well as I'd hoped. But it will be good enough. Oh! I'm really glad it didn't go flying anywhere else. Start with these opposing corners. Again, trying to counter, and then there we go. That is a little warped. kind of see the bend. I'm not really happy with that. But maybe if we take the thermal paste off the top, or the thermal padding off the top, because I would really just like it to be seated and not crushed or warped for this 1 terabyte drive, especially because it goes for $200 in these times of AI. So I may recycle this pad for another use case. We do have a pad on the bottom, super thick, moving down here. That pad is just so thick. No, the top side needs a pad. So we're gonna go the long way. Oh, did I fail to remove this pad, or did I just? That wouldn't be why. Can't sit, can it? No. I don't think so. Let's try this again. Let's loosen this. See, this is why we leave space for the screw. Cool. Blarg. Alright, pull that out. I'm gonna raise this if I can. Here we go. I'm gonna separate. I'm just gonna roll over. Pull this out. We're gonna try again. This thing is super thick. I wish this was a little bit thinner. And I don't really have a way to accommodate it. Additionally, these thin pads were hardly enough. Maybe this pad goes on the bottom. Maybe I am just the silliest of geese. Alright, I'm gonna take it. Whatever. Okay. Which does it say which pad goes where? One, remove screws. 2, remove the bottom plate. 3, at a 45-degree angle, slide in and screw in a retainer. Got it. Ignore the pads entirely. What if I do it this way? Is this acceptable? I guess acceptable is just what we're really willing to accept, isn't it? This doesn't even touch the pad. Like barely. Well, I really wish that this big thick pad was a little thinner. There is such a thing as too much, and this was it, because this makes this concave. I do really like Sabrent, but they need this to be like literally just 1 or 2 millimeters thinner. We're gonna use it because we don't have anything else to use, and it's not like this thing is gonna be constantly reading and writing. This is just for Steam game storage. But I did want to attempt a proper install, and I gave it my darndest. Alright. This is too much effort for this type of thing. There we go. I do think that this might be just a little too close too, because once I close it down, there is a warp, and that's just the length of the thing. I literally can't insert it anymore. And it's not even making full contact either. I'm really upset. Maybe if I adjust it just a smidge. Let's, yeah, unscrew it a little bit. Attempt to flatten. Right. I really don't like that warp. But it's probably fine. I'm probably just being super nitpicky. Okay, whatever. That's how we'll live with it. It's going to stay that way. And there's not much else I can do about it. These are the chips that are going to get hot, so I still want this here. You know, I should check if my stream is actually up. Is my stream not up? I can't tell. Okay, it says it's live. I just can't see the preview in YouTube. Back. Live now. Oh. Interesting. Frustrating. Okay. So I guess I do have a test stream up, but none of my description is there because I did not verify my keys. That's why this is a test. Alright. Let's pull this. Let's not be a silly goose and forget. That's what you get for doing this at 8:30 at night. Sick. It's supposed to close perfect, but it can't. So I'm just going to hope that the screws are long enough to screw in without actually crushing the thing. And then we'll deliver it tomorrow. So gently, right there. And gently here. So maybe that's a little, yeah, that's too tight. So let's loosen that. Play balance a little bit. Screw that just a bit. Going. Yeah. And one more. Cool. Gentle. 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 Hooray! Alright. It's all together. Screws are fine. There is a bit of that going on, that bend, that warp. Because of the super thick tape, we could not get it flush. Is that warped too? That should still... Oh. Yeah, you can see the inside there. Ugh. Alright. I'm taking that pad off because I don't want to crush it. I really don't. And we will live with the decisions. The massive heat thermal pad should be fine. By itself. Going to the actual front. We don't have to worry about the back too much. Alright. That's what you get. Yeah, this already feels better, less warp. So Sabrent, if you ever see this test stream, you know what to do. Make that thick pad thinner. Yeah, this feels better already. Nice and flush along most of the edge. Yeah, that's way better. It's still coming up a bit, but this is... Oh, that warp is actually from the thick pad. Alright. Decisions. I'm going to remove the thick pad because now we're only going to the top anyways. So, hooray. Trying every route to make this a clean install, and the parts are just not sized well. That's kind of just it. Yeah. All right. Come on, up. Yes, please and thanks. Get out of here. Too much. Yeah, there's not even chips on the back side, so I'm not going to sweat that. Well, it passed to the wrong stream, but at least I got on the right channel, because OBS was passing my stream to my personal channel instead of my branded channel. Like a silly goose. Please. What are you doing? It's flush, right? Yippers. That is super flat. So maybe I shouldn't have been using all three? Maybe they just include a spare? I don't know anymore. We'll do it just cuz. So probably do literally nothing. But it's already open, so we're going to use it. And I'll try sealing this one away in case I ever need to use it again. Marvelous. All right. I'm going to lift gently so that I don't drop the screws anywhere. Bring it up here so you can see it. Nice. That's actually pretty flush now. What a side quest. that was. Did not enjoy taking that apart so many times. It was not hard, it was just annoying. And there's still a little bend. Can't get everything you want, but now that's straight. A little more might have been okay, but I would have been worried about then the force inside the PCI slot. Nice. Cool. Alright, that's it. It's in there. And this goes into the motherboard. Do I have a loose one here to show you where it goes? I think I do. So if you don't know what a PCI slot is, well, firstly, this is an M.2 slot. This is where that drive would go. And here's another one facing this way. If you populate these two, you know, and you don't have any on the back, then you would take one of these, adapt it, and slot it right in here. And it'd be as fast as whatever that port is. So check your documentation. This will typically be your fastest port for your graphics card. And then these two may have different specs. Check your motherboard's documentation. And you would slot it in just like you would a graphics card. Thank you for watching. Y'all have a good night. And hopefully in the next one I can stream to the right stream and not just the right account.